This is another piece of madrone that my friend brought me from his property where they have a little cabin. He wants me to try to make something out of it. I first thought of possibly a little crotch bowl out of it, but I don't know that I want to do that. I sort of see possibly a little vase emerging up out of here, but I'm going to start sawing some bad wood off of it, and once I get that sawed away, maybe I'll come up with some kind of an idea. Alright, now I just have a center in my spindle here, and I have the cone center in the tailstock, and I'm going to use this to try to find a good balancing point, get it marked, and I'll get it flattened out or cut out so that I can get a spur center in there, and then we'll go to the next step. But I want to I need to balance it, and I'll need to get this flat, and I'll show you why shortly. So I'm going to fiddle around with this for a little while, and I'll come back and show you what I'm doing. So I have it about as balanced as I can get it, as far as having wood equal to turn. This is sticking out a long ways. I was debating bandsawing it off, but most of this is this mushroom stuff that grows on madrone. I'd like to just kind of turn that away and get down to the wood here, because this shape is naturally just curving up here. I can see that under it. That'll turn off easy. What I want to do now, and I don't know if this is going to work or not, I see so many splits in here. What I need to do is get this flat, turn a little locator on it, because I'm going to mount it to this little face plate. So when I turn it around, I've got something to grab it by. I was just looking down in here, and this has also been either in a fire pit or a fire. And a number of months ago, I turned a piece of madrone that my friend gave me, and I call it the burnt burl. And the ashes are still left in it, and there are ashes left in this one as well. So let's see how this works out. I got to get it flat and get a little locator a little over an inch in diameter. Not going to be able to turn it too fast because of that wobble. It's 650. I want to get that flat because when it's on the faceplate, it'll be in the same orientation when I flip it around. Alright, got that. The faceplate fits on there plenty good to get it back centered. I'm going to bring the tailstock up. I'm going to see about removing some of this while it's going this direction. And I know that stuff's going to fly. So I just moved that tarp behind me so I don't have to clean the chips off my bench. This might not work out, but I committed to it now, so I'm going to do my best to get something out of here. I think I'll take some of this out here and get this step out of there. and then maybe I'll decide what to do up here. I know I want some of that sweeping branch. This was already cut off when I got it. Would have been nice if that was up there, but it's not. I admit it is ugly right now. But I think that's going to change. I keep turning on this. This might tell me how much of that I can or cannot use after I turn it around. Well, having this little single piece out here all by itself makes for a far more difficult turning, but it's going to make a far more interesting turning if I leave it. This might be just odd enough. There, what do you think of that? A little better view of what I'm getting myself into. This is actually starting to turn into something that I like. Oh, how I wish that was up here, but it's not. So that'll make it unique. Very unique. How much more to go this way? Just a little bit. Alright, I'm going to do a little blending down in here. I like this step here. Don't particularly like that. That might just kind of soften up when I get a nice blend right here. That's the one I really need to concentrate on right now. If I work on here, this might just get worse. Let's go from here, clean this up, come back and have a look at that. Oh, that's not bad. So I really don't want to get rid of this. I'm starting to like this one. Let's pick it back up from here and see what this is going to look like. So I want this to come out right about there. I've taken my tool rest and I've positioned it. If I follow a parallel with the tool rest, it should come out where I want it. Alright, that's not too bad. I'm going to leave it. Once I get it mounted on that faceplate, I'll still have it. The tailstock center will be up against this end, and I can do a little refining. That whole section is burned out just like the other one. I'm going to have to talk to my friend John and ask him why he's giving me already burned firewood. Wow. The hollowing's going to be fun on this. Alright. Get this set up and get it turned around. So this is what I did on the end. I turned a little, basically a little tenon on here that would fit inside of the faceplate here, and it fits nice and tight. Now I'm going to get some screws in it. It's turned around on the faceplate, tailstock up against the other end. This mark right here, I just need to cut it right about there to not run into any screw holes. So I just want to take a few cuts right here and just have a look at what I got going on, because this has got me very interested and mystified what I'm going to do there. So let's see. Let's see if I can get in there and do that. This has got so many burned out spots and cracks in there, I really have to look close to see how thick I can leave that wall. As much as I'd like to thin this down, if I go much more, that piece is going to fall off. I would still have a very interesting look on there because of what this is. So I'm going to leave it thick for now. I just want to get a little bit deeper just to see what to expect. Let me get you into a different view here. Well, this is what we have going on. That is getting very thin, but right there it's okay. So what's going to happen as I turn, there's a hole right here that's going to open up. It'll start going down, actually. It's going to follow that down. So I'm going to switch to the smaller hollowing tool. Yeah, that was acting up down there because that hole is really opened up down here. So you got to be real careful when you get down where you have a hole. You don't want to push too hard. I'm going to go ahead and get the outside of this sanded. And it's going to be a slow process because I'm not going to be able to sand this under power. When I get down right about here, I can. And I'm going to go ahead and do all of this, get it all sanded up. I'll come back and we'll get this drilled out and see if we can get it hollowed down. I'm thinking maybe another 6 inches from the highest point. put it back in high range. I'm going to turn on this. Well, I'm down to where I drilled. And what I'll do is I won't show you all this drilling. It's not real exciting. I'll just come back when I'm ready to turn down a little bit farther. But it seems pretty secure in here. Alright, see what I can get out of here. Well, I pretty much have turned everything I can here. Now it's going to be a sanding process. But what I have is, like I've got a really sharp edge here. I'm going to go around and I'm going to dub this edge. I'm going to knock this edge over because it's sharp. I'll leave the, apparently somebody chainsawed that off. So I used this little flap sander that I made from a dowel with a split down it, and there's a bolt hooked to the dowel, and I got it in my chuck, and I can just reach it in here into that hole. And that's how I did it. In other places I would either sand by hand. Some of this I could use my Sandiflex. And then I also have this paint roller attached to a wood dowel with paper around it. And I was able to get in there with the different grits and sand it. Alright, time for some sanding sealer. I'm just going to brush it on because there's so many voids that I would need to brush anyways. Push it down into these burnt areas and the cracks. Lots of those. Over here where there was bark that fell off, and it's actually very pretty. I'm going to leave some of the bark on there that stayed on. It's on there solid, I'm going to leave it. So down inside of all of these areas, that's burnt out. And I'm hoping that that turns real black. I do have some of the ashes in there, and I left it in my other turning, and this one I'm going to try to get most of the ashes out of it and get a finish on the burnt wood. That's going to be a pretty piece of wood. With all its imperfections in here. I like this little area right there. It's kind of cupped out. There was a lot more, but I went for a shape on here that I liked, and I took a lot of that away, but there's still some left. And I did redesign the base area here. I think it looked better sweeping down in and coming back out, and when I cut that off it'll be a little foot on it. So I'll finish putting this on the outside. I'll do the inside. It's really soaking in, so I'll try to get 2 or 3 coats on, and I'm going to finish this one in shellac. So I'll be back when all that's done. So I'm holding in my hands probably one of the strangest turnings that I've made, and one that was very challenging, but it all turned out quite well, and I'll show it to you here in a minute. So what I have here is a piece of Madrone. It's unusual, like I was saying. On this side right here, this is all open. It's nothing holding these two pieces together. So that was quite interesting once I started hollowing it out. It's 10.5 inches tall, and if you measure it across this way, it's about 6 inches. But what makes this so interesting is it was in a fire. This is burnt, and there was actually ashes in it. I did another Madrone turning that came from the same spot. I left the ashes in it. This one I decided I just wanted to get finish on it and really highlight the whole effect. I finished this with shellac. I put sanding sealer on it first, and then I think I might have got 3 coats of shellac on it. What's really interesting is you can see what the fire did here. It toasted this wood right there. And I kind of figure that's what's going on, because you can see where the fire was, the wood's dark. You get down here, and the wood is a normal Madrone color. And there's no burning going on down there. So it's definitely unusual. So here's the inside. It's actually, from this tip to the bottom, is 7 3/4 inches down. I was thinking it was less than that, but it's not. I just measured it. And that's the base. That's it's oblong. It's 3 1/4 this way and less than 3 that way. But I like it that way. I just left this alone. I did turn some of it round, and I left some little flats in here. And it's, yeah, it's pretty unique. Even though I turn this, the piece of wood still amazes me. That's what I like about wood turning so much. I can't make the grain in a piece of wood anything but what it is. And I've just been fortunate to come across some really beautiful wood. So there it is. I hope you enjoyed watching the video. I'd like to thank everyone for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. And a special thanks to all my subscribers. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. If you're new to my channel and you feel so inclined, please consider subscribing. Thanks again, and until the next time, I'll see you later.